is right or wrong. And if it is not the right word, you have to choose one of the 4 options. If it is the right word, no correction required. And the passage is all about space technology, India's space technology, where India stands, how they have been doing. And the tone of the passage is positive. But here and there, one particular setback the passage talks about. Based on the context, you have to select the words. Shall I read out? So after 39 consecutive successful launches, the first sentence itself starts with a positive note. The Indian Space Research Organization had almost made it appear that launching satellites was imitation. Imitation doesn't come into picture here, not relevant. Doesn't go with a formal situation, so mark it wrong. Agilent. Please write the word agile first. In this paper, a lot of words are there. Be prepared to write. Agile, all are important words, very useful. Agile, part of speech adjective. Quick, characterized by quickness, lightness, and ease of movement. Nimble, another meaning of that nimble. Distinguishable, opposite, indistinguishable. Are they big enough? Counterfeit, it goes with everyday English. Goes with what? Currency, counterfeit, notes, fake. As prospective bankers, you have to know that. Analogous, this also you must be knowing. Comparable, parallel, or similar. So respective, part of speech adjective, belonging or relating separated to each of 2 or more people or things. The next word is an important word, spurious, not being what it purports to be, but simply you could write false or fake. And also write Shrikant, write the word adulterated, impure, to make something impure. Adulterated, to make something impure. If you are writing the word spurious, please write the combination spurious liquor. Spurious liquor. Thank you. Every year in our country, a lot of people die, especially small towns and villages, because of spurious liquor. Pirate, this you all must be knowing. It goes with everyday English. Pirated CDs, pirated songs, pirated books. A person who attacks and robs ships at sea. That was in the past, that meaning. Now it is not relevant. We don't have pirates, very rare. Off the coast of Africa, you come across pirates today also, especially countries like Somalia. Somalia known for pirates in the modern times as well. But otherwise, generally today when someone uses the word pirate, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? Reproduce illegally. Reproduce illegally. There is also a good word, renunciation. The formal rejection of something, typically a belief, claim, or course of action, but also right property. Renunciation goes more with wealth or property. Hope I'm not going very fast. You're able to write. Renunciation simple, right, giving up, give up. It's a phrasal verb. And usually it goes with luxuries, wealth, money, property, all these. Kindred, one's family and relations. And here write one expression. The other day someone was asking, he knows it in Telugu, he wanted the English expression. Kith and kin. So when you see the wedding card invitation, in Telugu you see down, if you translate it comes like all relatives and friends. For that, what is a standard expression in English? Kith and kin. Kith and kin means all the known people, relatives, friends, acquaintances, your complete circle. We use the expression kith and kin. Pseudo, you all must be knowing. Pseudo means what? Not genuine. And write one expression, pseudo-intellectual. Pseudo-intellectual. Pseudo-intellectual means not an intellectual, but pretends to be an intellectual. A wretched, that's also an important word. It goes with a person in a very unhappy or unfortunate state. Devastated, also write the word devastated. A wretched, dejected, devastated, shattered, all these words could be used. Hope you are able to listen and write. Shattered, devastated. Low spirits, another expression you could write. Someone is in low spirits, means unhappy, depressed. Nexus is a very good word. It goes with newspaper English and effective English. Nexus, simple meaning, connection, but it has a negative connotation. The unwanted connection between police and thieves, we use the word nexus. The unwanted, undesired connection between the politicians and the thieves, we use the word nexus. Remember the connotation and the combination. Please write nexus, it goes with police, thieves, politicians, all these. Brace, one of the meanings, support. Accept or support. I think you have got this word recently. So many words. Now, what is a blank number? First one we have to see was imitation. Do you think the right word is imitation? No. Agilent, agile, no. Indistinguishable. You have to use an emphatic word, not a negative word, not at all. Counterfeit, not relevant. And what is the third option here? Indeed. Indeed, what? Child's play. Because they launched so many successfully, it looks like it's a child's play. Please underline the expression, child's play. So what is the answer here? The third option, that launching satellites was indeed child's play. Child's play means, write the meaning, something that looks very easy, something that looks very simple and easy. See, if you take sports, some people play. If you take a tennis player like Nadal, he goes in all the directions, goes upside down to take the ball, and he works very hard. But you take Roger Federer, he's a class apart. He plays in such a way that you don't think it is very difficult. It looks so simple. So it looks like child's play when Roger Federer plays. It looks an uphill task when Nadal plays. You got the difference? Child's play means what? Something looks very simple or easy. So remember that idiomatic expression, and it goes with this context. So answer is that particular word, indeed. What is the meaning of the word indeed? Emphasis. Please write. Indeed means emphatic, to emphasize. Emphatic or emphasize. So when it used its workhorse rocket, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. So the passage is all about success on the one hand and failure on the other hand, one particular failure. So he starts the second paragraph with a contrasting word which reflects a negative thing. But the PSLV, which has been placing satellites in their analogous orbits. So what is the next word here? Underline the word orbits. Analogous orbits. Analogous means what? Similar, comparable. But here generally we talk about orbits, sending satellites. Each satellite has its own orbit. Then each student has his or her own position. Then what is the word we use? A respective. So analogous is not correct. What is the first option here? A respective. Answer is a respective orbits. And what is the third word? See, I have said many a time, either they use the same words or they use synonyms. Already have got, you got the meaning. Spurious, is it right? But you know the meaning. Pirate, not relevant. Equivalent, no, not correct. So what is the answer here? A respective. For the past 24 years, faced a setback on August 31st. Setback, please write the meaning. Failure, that's right. Setback means what? Failure. The PSLV C-39 rocket carrying the 8th satellite of the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System had a normal liftoff, there was no problem, and flight events, but ended in an unsuccessful mission. So takeoff, there was no problem, but along the way there was a problem. The heat shield, what was the problem? The heat shield failed to separate. Now you should know something about space technology or how they launch satellites or rockets, all that. But based on elimination approach, you can decide what the right word is. Hold that one. Renunciation, or is it relevant in this context? No. Intersection, relevant? No. And pseudo, not at all relevant. Kindred goes with persons. So what is the answer here? Fail to separate, resulting in the satellite separation. Now first you choose what is the answer for third blank. No correction required. Fail to separate. And what is the impact of that? Resulting in the satellite separation. Separation reached, no. Postponed, nexus, brace, occurring within the shield. Now it hasn't got separated, but it happened within the shield. So what do you think the right word is? Occurring. This is just the second instance when the PSLV has had, please underline the expression has had. Which tense is that? Present perfect, that's right. Because the subject is third person singular, we have used the helping verb has. Has had an unsuccessful mission in all of its 41 launches. Second time they had unsuccessful in how many launches? 41 launches. The first treasure, treasure means what? Hidden wealth. Does it go with this context? No. I'll show the meanings later. Statuette, very small statue, not relevant. Suture, stitches, not relevant. Setback, he is talking about the history of the setbacks. The first one and this is the second one. So what is the word, third option? Setback. Hinge, hinge means a joint. So what do you think the answer is here? Setback. The first setback. Now write the meanings of these words. Treasure, a quantity of precious metals, gems or other valuable objects, usually hidden. Treasure island, treasure games, they go with something hidden and you have to find out. Statuette, a small statue or figurine. That word goes with aesthetics, not with everyday English. Suture, a medical term, a stitch or row of stitches holding together the edges of a wound or surgical incision. Have you written? Now what is the blank number? 6, am I right? This is especially so as a lift-off and the stage separation of the first and second stages, which are the most challenging parts of the mission, went off. He talks about what went smoothly or properly, what did not go smoothly. So went off roughly, or roughly, do you think the right word? No. Allege, it comes from the word allegation, not relevant here, it's a legal term. Smoothly, hold that one. Bogus, it goes with authenticity, not relevant here. Despondent goes with persons, not relevant. So the first two stages, which are most challenging, they went off smoothly. So what is the answer here? The second option is the answer. I think one word is missing. Do you have in the hard copy the word in after full stop? Yes. In comparison, the heat shield separation is a relatively minor operation. So difficult ones went off smoothly, but easy one did not go off smoothly. That's the context. Now we will see these words, or we will see in comparison, the heat shield separation is a relatively minor operation. Now in comparison, do you think it is right or wrong? It is right. Deny, not relevant here. Dismal, it goes with performance, but not in this context. Dummy, not correct. Hoax, not correct. So first you make a note, the answer is the given, no correction required. Now write the meanings of these words. First you write allege. Also write the other form, allegation. Claim or assert that someone has done something illegal or wrong, typically without proof. You could also write the word accusation, a related word, accusation. This is a good word. Deny goes with everyday English, contradict, popular. Repudiate, not a regular word, but it goes with effective English, worth remembering. Dismal is also a good word, it goes with effective English. Write the part of speech, adjective, causing a mood of gloom or depression. Also write not up to the mark, and a typical combination, write dismal performance, generally takes the word performance. Dismal performance in the meeting, dismal performance in the tournament. These are typical expressions. Hoax, it also goes with newspaper English, written English. Means what? A humorous or malicious deception. Have you written? Someone makes a, please write one word, write the word prank. Synonym of hoax. But prank goes with kids and everyday English. Hoax goes with situations that deal with the public life. Someone makes a call to the railway station and says there is a bomb in one of the rooms. Then it is not true. Then what is the word we use? There we don't use the word prank, we use the word hoax. Okay. Have you written? The failed mission serves as a reminder that utmost care and scrutiny are required, please underline the word scrutiny, are required before every single launch. While scientists are working to identify the cause of the emancipation, assimilate, gloomy, anomaly, regularly it is successful, but once or twice not successful. Is it normal or abnormal? What is the other word for abnormal? Anomalous, anomaly. So what is the answer here? First you make a note, answer is third option, and melancholy, that goes with depression. Write the meanings of these words. We have to find a way to save time. One paper, so many words, where is the time to explain? Every minute I have to stop and you have to write. The purpose gets defeated. Emancipation is a good word. The fact or process of being set free from legal, social, or political restrictions, but generally it goes with social. Emancipation of the downtrodden people. Assimilate is also a good word. Take in and understand fully. So combination, information or ideas. Here you could write one more word. Please write the word imbibe. Imbibe also means get something assimilated. It goes with ideas, values. You all know the meaning of the word gloomy. Gloomy means what? Sad, depressed. One of the meanings, mood-based, unhappy. But a gloomy room means what? Dark or poorly lit, especially so as to appear depressing or frightening. Old buildings, they look gloomy. No proper ventilation, no proper lighting. Anomaly is an important word. Abnormality, oddity, or peculiarity. The last word also goes with everyday English, effective English. Melancholy, a feeling of pensive sadness, typically with no obvious cause. You yourself don't know the reason why you're sad. Then we use this. But please write the expression, idiomatic expression. Monday blues. Today, many students are quiet. Master is also not quite excited. What is the reason? After a gap of 2 days, I am trying to face the students, morning also no class. And after a gap of 2 days, you all must have enjoyed Saturday and Sunday also. Then all of a sudden, you don't feel like listening, you feel a little depressed or sad. What is the idiomatic expression for that? Monday blues. All the employees, they freak out on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning they don't feel like going to the office. Then we use this one. Have you written? Please say yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Shall I change? Yes, sir. No? Fine. What is the blank number? Almost 20 minutes over. The failure of the mission is particularly disheartening. Any failure, if you know the meaning, you will not look at the options also, you will decide that particular word. Disheartened means what? Disappointed, depressed, to feel low. So answer is a given word, but we'll see the other options. Clinched, usually it goes with business. Clinch a deal. I'll show the meanings. And serendipity, it goes with research, scientists. Scientists do research 20 years, 30 years, but sometimes what happens, all of a sudden they come across or they bump into something unexpected, they discover something. Then we use the word serendipity, accidental discovery. And fortuity, something like gain or something. Hazard, you all know the word. What does it mean? Danger. Now answer is a given word, fifth option. Now write the meanings of these words. Fortuity also chance occurrence. First you write dishearten. Cause someone to lose determination or confidence. That is getting disappointed or demotivated. That is better. So dishearten goes with persons. Clinch a deal, that goes with business. confirm or settle a contract or bargain. Serendipity goes with scientists. How many of you have heard this word for the first time? Please raise your hands. Okay, fine. Fortuity, a chance occurrence. These two are synonyms, but we prefer this word, serendipity, the scientific community. It has a positive connotation. Consortium, that also goes with business, an association typically of several companies, union of companies, association of companies, alliance, coalition, a union, but generally consortium goes with business entities. They join hands, we use the word consortium. Have you written the meaning of fortuity? Happenstance, that also means coincidence. Coincidence. All these are advanced vocabulary. A typical candidate may not know these words, so you should be very happy. One mock test paper, you got so many effective words. That is how you have to look at it. There are two ways of looking at something. One is optimistic or positive. The other is pessimistic or negative. Oh, we have to write so many words. That is what? Negative. Oh, so many words from one mock test. Wonderful. Positive. It is in your, how you look at it, your choice. Egalitarianism, a very good word. You have got this already. Egalitarian ideals or values means what? The belief that all are equal, but it's not practical. The doctrine or philosophy that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities. Not true, not practical. Your 5 fingers are not equal. In the same family, 2 or 3 brothers, they are not the same. Intellectually, character-wise, any dimension you take. Sober goes with drinking, not affected by alcohol, not drunk. I think he gave the 3 meanings of the word drunk. Do you remember? Yes, sir. No, sir. One of the two. Do you remember? First, write one sentence. He has drunk. Here, drink, drank, drunk. Brackets, you write past participle of drink. No special connotation, regular meaning. I write the second sentence. He is drunk. He is. Underline the verb is. Underline the word drunk. Brackets, you write intoxicated. Intoxicated. Intoxicated means what? In a different state of mind. What is a different state of mind? You don't know what you say and you don't know what you do. That's what happens when you drink a lot. When you drink a lot, what happens? Don't say, sir, we don't know. Oh, that's what you want me to expect. Say, yes, sir. Fine. I'm just joking. So, intoxicated means what? A different state of mind. And you talk some nonsense. You behave in a nonsense manner, not acceptable manner. After drinking a lot, then we use the same word, drunk. Effective word, intoxicated. But everyday English, we say, he is drunk. Don't talk to him now. He doesn't know what he says. Don't consider his words. This is the second sentence. Write the third sentence with the indefinite article A. He is a drunk. He is a drunk. Old English, someone who drinks regularly, alcoholic, and Old English, we would say drunkard. He is a drunkard. One who drinks regularly, that is Old English. But now we say he is a drunk. A drunk is different. He is drunk is different. Both are entirely different. So you got all the three meanings. Right. Have you written sober? So sober means what? Not drunk. Some people after drinking also, they maintain they're composed and balanced. Then what do you say? Though he has drunk, he is sober. Whenever he drinks, he is sober. Means what? He doesn't get intoxicated. He doesn't behave in a funny manner. Now we'll move on. What is a blank number? Over. 10th one. We'll see the 9th one. The failure of the mission is particularly disheartening as the IRNSS-1H satellite was jointly assembled and tested by Indian Space Research Organization and a Bangalore-based private company. Generally, they take the help of group of companies, but here they have taken only one company. The first time, a single private company rather than a one company. What is opposite? Group of companies, consortium, rather than what? What is option number here? Quietly is not correct. The first option, consortium, and all these meanings you have written, not relevant here. Has anyone got all the 10 correct? Have you done for the first time or second time? My question, first time someone must have done. Has anyone got all the 10 correct? 9 correct? For the first time, for the first time, for the first time. Please give her a big hand. That is highly appreciable. Now we'll move on to the next set of questions. What do they deal with? Hope you guys are attentive. Or you're thinking of celestial bodies and space mission. Please come back to the earth. We'll see the 10 questions which deal with phrasal verbs. What is the first one? See, all these phrasal verbs, please remember, because nowadays they're asking a lot of questions related to phrasal verbs. If they give 10, don't panic. Usually you don't get 2 or 3, that is for sure. Be prepared. And remaining 6 or 7 or 8, use your common sense, presence of mind, and grammar knowledge. Then you will be able to get 5 based on grammar knowledge, contextual awareness, and if you read with a focused mind. But once you panic, you don't get those 5 marks also. 5 marks definitely worth reading with a focused mind. Now we'll see some of these are easy. The first one, shall I read out? What is it? If we get the work done tonight, please underline tonight. Some people say today night, it is not correct. Tonight is correct. And today evening is not correct. Please write the expression this evening. Please write this evening, not today evening, this evening. And today night, not correct, tonight. So if we get the work done tonight, it will free on the weekend to go away. Free on the weekend. Context you can understand. You complete the work today, weekend you are free. Then do you think free on is right? Does it sound right? No. Freak up. Write the meaning of the word freak. Freak has got 2 different meanings. One goes with not related at all. Please write the first meaning of the word freak. Freak means abnormal. Abnormal, not normal. Imagine someone, usually we have 5 fingers, someone has 6 fingers. Then what is the word you use? He is a freak. And some people, they don't behave normally, odd behavior. Then what is the word you use? He is a freak. And generally if you take trees, broadly we have 2 types of trees, monocotyledons, dicotyledons. And monocotyledons, the branches or the stems are always straight. If you take palm trees, coconut trees, monocotyledons. But majority, many trees are dicotyledons. Then the branching is always dichotomy. Dichotomy means what? Always bifurcated into 2. From 2, 2, 2 again 2. It goes that way. And sometimes you see a plant that is a dicotyledon comes up or grows as a monocotyledon. Then we call that particular tree a freak. Abnormal, not natural. But write the other meaning of the word freak which goes with everyday English, please write. And write the preposition with the preposition freak out. Freak out. Enjoy a lot. Freak out means enjoy a lot. and write one expression, rather combination, freak out on music. Freak out on music. Also write one more expression, freak out with friends. He always freaks out with friends, means enjoys a lot. It doesn't go with this context. Free up, seems right, hold that one. Freshen up, not relevant in this context. Freeze up, it has a negative connotation, freeze, make something solid. So answer is the second option, please make a note, free up, and write the meaning of that. Free up means what? Make available, one meaning, or clear. Free up the weekend, means weekend is available to you to enjoy. Easy or difficult? How many of you have got it right? A lot, that's wonderful. Thank you, sir. What are you guys up to? Are you guys attentive? Now you say with a lot of passion, energy, yes sir. That is the best part of it. Now the magazine gives you tips on how to frighten away your home cheaply. Anyone can make out it is not correct, so mark it wrong. Frighten away has a negative connotation. Front off your home cheaply. Your gut feeling here, if you don't know the meaning, front per, frighten off. Frighten doesn't come into picture. Please strike off frighten, front off, front per, freshen up. Now I'm damn sure a lot of candidates with a lot of confidence must have rejected the fourth option. Am I right? But unfortunately that is the answer. What is the answer here? Please make a note. Freshen up is the answer. Because freshen up goes with everyday English, a different context altogether. And you will not consider that one. Please write the meaning. You all know everyday English meaning, freshen up. But here it has a different connotation. Quickly improve the appearance of something. In a way it goes with the same meaning. But everyday English we use with persons. Here it goes with a building. Freshen up means what? Quickly improve the appearance of your home in this context. And if you take the front part of a building, there is a word for that, and usually people mispronounce that particular word. Please write. F-A-C-A-D-E, facade. How do you pronounce it? Facade. See, the k sound doesn't come into picture, facade. Facade means the front part of a building. They spend a lot of money on the front part of a building to make it appear quite impressive. If a building, the front part of the building looks very modern and people get attracted, then we use, you have got this word already, please write, futuristic. What is it? Futuristic facade means what? Ultra modern, something that belongs to the future. Also write the expression ultra modern, ultra modern. Shall I move on to the next one? Question number 13. 13 and 14 are very difficult to make out. I spent the afternoon gadding off single F in the West End. So, West End is a place. First you underline West End. Now you should know the meaning of the word gadding. That is not a regular word. Then you have to know the preposition. That is also very difficult. But from the context you can understand West End is a place. That means you must have moved here and there, visited a few places. But so many prepositions, off, over and on, about. Answer is the fourth option. Frankly speaking, those who are very good at English also, they will not be able to make out, get the correct option, 13 and 14, frankly speaking. So don't be disappointed, be happy. It's very difficult for those who are good at English also. So write the meaning of that particular phrasal verb. Gad about means what? Visit a lot of different places for pleasure. Some of these go with the Western culture. We don't use them in our country. That's why I said out of 10, 2 you can't make out, be prepared. Once you are prepared, you are not disappointed, very simple. You expect something, you get disappointed. No expectations, cool, very simple. Have you written? Visit a lot of different places for pleasure. Next one also, to some extent perhaps, IT people should be able to get it. Have you got it right? This one, 14. That's wonderful. You must be knowing the word geek. They use regularly at the workplace. So 14, Henry always geeks off at parties and bores all the people who don't know much about computers. First you underline the word geek. Geek means a person who knows a lot about computers, a computer person. A lot of youngsters, they know a lot about computers, they keep on talking, and they have a lot of knowledge related to computers. What is the word we use? Geek. There's one more word. If you watch or see English movies, they use this word. You must be knowing this word also. What is it? Nerd. N-E-R-D. Nerd also means a person who is into computers all the time. N-E-R-D. Nerd. Have you seen the movie Rocky IV? Sylvester Stallone? No one. Who has seen that movie? Raise your hands. All the youngsters have to see. In fact, you won't believe, once I attended a workshop kind of a thing, welcome, inaugural function for chartered accountant aspirants in Ravindra Bharati. So they invited one personality development speaker like our person, the one who visited this institute twice. What's his name? Shafi sir. Like him, another person. And that person, he gave a presentation how to be motivated all the time. But what made his presentation quite unique or innovative or appealing, between he played clippings from Rocky IV and some other movies. Rocky IV is all about a boxer by name Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. He fights a Russian boxer. Rocky is basically about 5'10" or 5'11" height, and his opponent 6'4" or 6'5". It is like a giant midget fighting with a giant. And this giant practices rigorously, but uses the gadgets, AC rooms. And Rocky can't afford to do something like that. So he takes to nature. He climbs up mountains and snow-capped mountains. He lifts logs, huge logs, wooden logs. He does all sorts of things. And the finals, initially he doesn't. 15 rounds. You must be knowing any boxing, each bout, I think total 15 rounds. 13 rounds, almost people think he has lost. But 14th and 15th, the final round, he wins. The message, that movie became very popular among the youngsters, and it is shown for motivation. Why that person has shown that particular movie, the clippings from that movie, it is all about motivation or not giving up. Now imagine 13 times you lose and your opponent is a giant. Do you have the hope that you are going to win? But he makes it happen. So please, when you are free, see that movie, very useful. Well, in that movie, the hero's son uses the word nerd. So it is used regularly in everyday English in the West, not in our country. Now answer here, please make a note. Gears off, not relevant here. Geeks out. You have to decide between geeks off, geeks out, because other words are not relevant here. Now answer is the second option. Write the meaning of that particular phrasal verb. Geek out. Talk at length about computers or computing. Talk at length about computing. Have you written? Right. Nerds and geeks always talk about computers, which a layman cannot understand. Of all the 10, this is the easiest. I have been looking for all their hidden files, but I can't find them anywhere. So what is the answer? No correction required. Look for means what? Search for. Everyday English. Shall I move on to the next one? We screened off the area where we had the discussion from the rest of the meeting. Perhaps he talks about they blocked others from the rest of the meeting, and the context, once you understand, it is easy. Screened, do you think it is single F or double F? So answer is what? The second option, screen off. Please write the meaning. I think the letters are very small. Separate a part of a room with something like curtain. Screen off. In a way, blocking. Have you written? Next one is very difficult. But in Western context, it is a common one. What is the reason? Those countries, they have boating. Boating is a very popular hobby. But for us, how many of you have gone on a boat ride? Please raise your hands. A few. It is not a regular thing for us, so difficult to make out. The boat keeled over in the storm and the crew drowned. What do you understand from the context? Drowned means what? To go underwater, to sink. That is positive or negative? Negative. The boat keeled over, but if you don't know the meaning, it is very difficult to make out. What is the reason? Same verb, at, up, off, out. How the hell can you make out? Not possible. But answer is fifth option, no correction required. And what is the meaning of keel over? Turn upside down. Better word, capsize. Overturn goes with everyday English, but written English, newspaper English, you come across the word capsize. It goes with boats, sometimes buses, at the time of floods. Turn upside down, capsize, overturn. Have you written? Fine. Is that the last one, or we have some more? I hope I am not going very fast. You are able to follow. Question number 18. A fight broke out in the pub, but that is not the one. That is in bold, am I right? But you are supposed to touch pull, abide. Please underline pull, abide. What is in bold, broke out or pull, abide? Broke out. But they should have given pull, abide in bold. Please underline pull, abide. That should be in bold. The context is past. A fight broke out. Break out means what? Already have got many a time. What is the meaning of break out? To start suddenly. Please write. To start suddenly. To start suddenly. It goes with fights, clashes, diseases, fire, F-I-R-E, fire, and volcanic eruptions. So there is nothing wrong with that particular phrasal verb. A fight broke out in the pub and it was hard to pull the people involved. Abide. Do you think it is right? Abide goes with what? Rules and regulations. Is it relevant in this context? No, mark it wrong. Pull apart. Seems right, hold that one. Pull off, pull over, pull in. Answer is the first option. Please write the meaning. Pull apart. Stop people or animals fighting. Stop people or animals fighting. Do you think in our country people fight? Immediate answer, yes or no? They don't fight. If you talk to Americans, when they go to the embassy, they are given some tips. First tip, be prepared. People will stare at you. So be prepared. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Israel also, people stare. But in the US, no one stares. So be prepared. Don't get stressed out. Second tip, if you see someone, 2 guys or 3 guys fighting, ignore. They don't fight. It's only a show. Once what happened, I was going with a friend of mine, an American. There was a fight near a petrol bunk. And I thought she would get tensed up, but she was cool. Then she was laughing. I said, why are you laughing? No, something, I was reminded of something. I said, what? It seems in India, they don't fight in the real sense. It's only. Then I started analyzing. Generally, if you take a fight in our country, one guy is here, another guy is here. They say, you hit me, you hit me. No one hits. And from this side, 5 people pull this person back. From that side, 5 persons pull that person back. Do they really fight? They never fight. But you take in the US, they use guns. There is a fight, only one person survives. In Africa, if there is a fight, only one person survives. They don't use guns, they use knives and they stab the other person. Or they use stones, they hit the person. But in our country, They keep saying, come on, hit me, hit me. But no. So Indians don't fight, please remember. It never happens, rarest of rare. Stop people or animals fighting, pull apart. So generally what happens here, they don't fight, they pretend, and others they pull them apart. That's why I told the context. Now we'll move on. 19, this is also very difficult. I myself didn't know. Is it 19? Please make the check in to RGM Productions Limited. But surprisingly, the answer here, the third option, make out. Write the meaning of that. Make out means make a check payable to somebody. Make a check payable to somebody. Make out a check. We don't use it. Write a check in the name of, that's what we say. And when you go to a restaurant, you order something, you have something. After having food, what do you ask the bearer for? Get what? The bill, am I right? But American English, they say, get the check. Check has a different meaning over there. Check means what? Get the bill, a different meaning. And the last one, the government hit out at the media for their negativity. Hit out means what? Scold or criticize or be harsh towards someone. I'll show the meaning. Answer is, the context is past. So answer is the fifth option. Hit out, right. Respond angrily to criticism. Respond angrily to criticism. Have you written? So cultural differences, we find certain things very strange. Imagine someone gives you a chocolate because it's your birthday and you're with 2 or 3 persons. Then what do? You share the chocolate or not? Here no one minds because you gave her birthday or his birthday, you gave the chocolate, the person is sharing with his friends. But Americans, they feel very bad. They say it is for you. I gave the chocolate to you. Why do you give it to others? They don't like it. They have given the chocolate to a particular person. They expect that person to have it. They don't expect that person to share that. They feel very bad. That is cultural difference, very unfortunate. Now, who has got 5 correct out of 10? Please raise your hands. I appreciate all those students. These are not that easy. Phrasal verbs are always uphill task, do remember, and it's an ocean. That is an ocean. Now, what is this passage about? You want me to ask the question? You want me to answer the question? What is this about? Financial literacy. And as prospective bankers, you should relate to this passage. You should understand, and questions are rather easy to answer. Almost all questions you should get right. The passage talks about financial literacy. Indians are about 40%, 43% financially literate, and urban people more literate compared to their counterparts in the villages. Then he talks about the problem is not due to lack of funds. Funds are not an issue because they haven't been dealing at the grassroots level. They have not been dealing with the conventional approaches. They have been dealing with approaches contrary to the conventional approaches. Based on that, a few questions. Shall I read out the first question? According to the passage, what is the reason for financial illiteracy in India? Lack of financial awareness. What is the reason? Financial awareness, lack of, anyone can answer that. Do you think that is the answer? I don't think so. Lack of literacy among people. Lack of RBI's initiative at grassroots level. That is also not correct. Though mentioned, both 1 and 2, fifth option, none of these. Answer is the fifth option. How many of you have chosen the fifth option? Raise your hands. Others, which option have you chosen? First option. Fourth option. Third, RBI's initiative at grassroots level. No, not at all. What is the reason? According to the passage, what is the reason for financial illiteracy in India? Please underline the word reason. Reason, first he talks about, we'll look at the problem. Problem is what? RBI has funds, it has taken initiatives, but the writer, the passage says they are not focusing on the grassroots level. Based on that, you cannot say that is a reason for financial illiteracy. If that is the case, why don't we have financial literacy in the urban centers? The passage talks about financial literacy. Is it 100% in cities? Does it talk about that? Then if that is the case, it should be 100% in urban areas and grassroots level 0, then that is a reason for financial illiteracy. And what is the margin, the difference between urban and rural financial literacy? Is it a lot or only a little? Only a little. So that is not the answer. But if you look at the passage very carefully, all of you please go to the, how many paragraphs are there? Please go to the second paragraph, the last sentence. Have you gone to the second paragraph on page 3, the last sentence? What we need instead is a serious effort at creating content that can integrate basic financial concepts such as inflation, risk and interest rates, for instance, into the school curriculum. This is the reason. What is the reason? It is not integrated into the curriculum at the school level. Had they done it, it wouldn't have been a problem today. So based on that, do you think if you say lack of financial awareness, that is a reason? Both are one and the same. Financial illiteracy means what? Please define, those who have chosen the first and second, what is financial illiteracy? Please tell the meaning of financial illiteracy. In other words, lack of financial awareness. Then how can you say that is a reason? They are one and the same. I can change the, hope you are listening very carefully. Please listen very carefully. According to the passage, what is the reason for lack of financial awareness in India? Substitute. Then will you say financial illiteracy? Ridiculous. Not at all correct. And lack of literacy among people? No, that is not. So please, answer is the fifth option, beyond any doubt. Hope you are convinced. What can be the suitable title of the above passage? Some errors are there with the key, that is the only problem. Lessons on literacy, is it about literacy? No. Financial awareness, hold that one, general statement. India's poor financial literacy, he talks about that. Education initiatives, not relevant. Weak financial system, not relevant. So what is the answer here? Third option, India's poor financial literacy. What is not true according to the passage? Financial initiatives are contrary to conventional efforts. Mentioned in the passage. Contrary to conventional efforts. What are conventional efforts? Going to the grassroots level and integrating in the curriculum, school curriculum. So contrary, that means it is true or not true? It is true. Lack of money in the investor protection fund. This is not true. Plenty of money is there. So hold the second option. Less than 50% people are financial literates. Is that true? Is it less than 50% or less than 40%? Now all of you please go to the passage. The second paragraph, what does it talk about? Excuse me. What does it talk about? It talks about the percentage. The survey showed that 76% of Indians aren't financially literate. Now 76, 100 minus 76, what is it? 40? No, 20? 24. Generally, when you round it off, how do you round it off? Less than 20, you have to say. Am I right? That's what I was told. Right or wrong? Now you have to decide, is it less than 50% or financially literate? Financially literate, how many people are financially literate? More than 50%. See, read carefully. Are not financially literate, 76, less than 50%. But frankly speaking, when it is 24%, if you have to mention that, will you say less than 50% or will you say less than 20%? If you have to round off, you must be knowing. Obviously, beyond any doubt, but to be very exact, what will you say? Okay, hold that one. Now, what is the answer here? You have to select either the second option alone, or second and third. Now, less than 20%, less than 50%. Less than 50% obviously you can consider. So, what is the answer based on that? The second option 2 and 3. Please make a note. Question number 24. According to S&P's report, what is true? Poor people who hold accounts in banks have better understanding of financial terms. I think the last paragraph talks about this. True or not true? True. Poor people are more literate than rich ones. Ridiculous. 76% of Indians are financially literate. No, financially not literate. So, what is the answer here? What is the question? What is true? Only first option is true. So, answer is the first option. Please make a note. What is the key reason that most of the initiatives are facing today? Please underline key reason. A lack of money flow, that is not right. Lack of basic financial literacy, but that is also not correct. The question is what? Key reason that most of the initiatives are facing today. The question is related to initiatives, not related to financial literacy. So, second option is not correct. Lack of basic access to savings. No, the question is about what? Key reason that most of the initiatives are facing. Please underline the word initiatives are facing. Now, initiatives are being taken by RBI. He talks about what are the key reasons that most of the initiatives are facing today. Already mentioned in the passage, what is the key reason? Tell me based on the passage. Not touching the grassroots level. So, that means what is the answer? Fourth option is the answer, obviously, none of these. That is the answer. 26, similar in meaning. Prevalence, I am not convinced. Prevalence means what? Exist or spread out. Scope, hold that one. Descending, not relevant here. Vogue, vogue means fashionable, popular. At a particular time something is popular. In vogue means very popular. It goes with fashion industry. Vague, not clear. And promote. Here it is not promote, it talks more about popular or existence, but the word is prevalent in this context, exist. Do you find any word like that here? But you have to decide between, please underline two words. One is scope, the other is vogue. The key says vogue, but I am not convinced. The answer should be the first option, scope. That is also not quite the right word, but between the two, I cross-checked for other meanings of vogue, but vogue cannot be used in this context. It has to be scope. Copious, what do you understand from the context? More or less? More. Meager, opposite. Less, opposite. You want similar or opposite? Similar. And poor, rare. What is the last option? Ample means a lot. Expend. Expend generally goes with use. It goes with resources. Please write the combinations. Resources, money. It means in a way use or distribute. Hoard, not correct. Hoard, you got the other day. Hoard means what? To store illegally. One meaning. Hoarding, outside you see. Gather, maintain, disburse, save. Disburse means what? Distribute. Please write the meaning of that word. Distribute. Expend also means the same. So, what is the answer based on that? The fourth option is the answer. That is acceptable. Now, he wants opposite. Effluent means what? If the spelling is E, what does it go with? Waste, liquid waste emanated from factories or domestic sources. But here the first letter is what? A. It means what? Very rich. Please write the meaning and write the typical combinations. Affluent, family, country, groups. Affluent family means rich family, country, a rich country. Now he wants opposite, famous, rich, moneyed, Inevitable, not relevant here. Inevitable means what? Unavoidable. Your success is inevitable. Always tell yourself, write somewhere and look at it every day. My success is inevitable. Means what? No one can stop, nothing can stop. Now, what is the fifth option here? Destitute. Please write the meaning of that. Very poor. Destitute means very poor or extremely poor. Extremely poor. Usually you come across, if you take Mother Teresa, she got the Nobel Prize because she worked for the destitutes of Calcutta. Calcutta is known for destitutes. It's a highly densely populated city. They don't have the shelter and they sleep wherever they get a chance, and very poor people. When Mother Teresa visited that place, she got moved and she made up her mind to do something for them. And she got the Nobel Prize for, she tried to uplift the downtrodden people of Calcutta. In other words, the destitutes of Calcutta. Destitutes means very poor people. Now, opposite affluent, fifth option, destitute. Mandatory, you all know the word mandatory means what? Compulsory. What is opposite? Optional. Compelling, forcing. Write the meaning of the word compelling. Compelling means what? Forcing.